Good morning, students.
This is all about black Smithy shop. Black Smithy, as the name indicates, black means the color is black. Of which thing the color is black? It is of the workpiece. The workpiece is made of mild steel. I told you in fitting shop, machine shop, welding and black Smithy, the workpiece is made of mild steel. Because of carbon content inside the mild steel, the color is black. The iron and steel are in black color. Mild steel and iron are of black color because of carbon percentage
Content in these materials. In blacksmithy, we are changing the
shape of workpiece by heat treatment means we are heating the workpiece, then we are
changing the shape of that workpiece by using different tools. So this is our
furnace, oil fired furnace, in which we are pouring diesel from here. You will see in the
practical which is being prepared after this, the demo practical, in which this is the tank for storing the diesel. Here we are pouring the diesel, then we put a flame inside this and start, then it is
working. We heat the work, we keep the workpiece inside this furnace, and then
the workpiece is being heated up to a red hot temperature. The color of workpiece becomes red when it is heated up to certain level. This is a motor which is rotating the fan, which is intruding
the
the
air inside this because the fire requires oxygen as well as the temperature. So the workpiece is made of mild steel. We keep the workpiece which is being hot in a red color. Like this is the raw material. We can change the shape from square. This is of square
cross section we can change into circular or round, or from round to square. Easier one is
round to square. So in your course is round to square. We are changing a round bar or a round shape into square shape. We keep this on this anvil and we hold the workpiece with the help of these tongs. These tongs, we hold it because it is very red hot. We keep it inside the furnace with the help of these tongs, and we take out the workpiece from the furnace with the help of this tongue. We hold it over here at anvil, then we apply force with the help of this hammer. This hammer is known as sledgehammer double face. Why double face? From both sides we can apply force from both sides of this face. This portion is known as head. This portion which is being held in the hand made of wood is known as handle. We apply the force with the head. This sledgehammer starts from the weight of 5 kg. When we require to apply more force and we are changing the shape, then we are using sledgehammer. We don't apply force directly with the help of sledgehammer, we use flatter also. We keep the flatter on the workpiece, then we apply force. This is known as flatter because the surface of this tool is flat. You are saying this is flat. This is known as flatter. We keep it
on the workpiece, then we apply force at the top end of this flatter. Then we change
the
the
shape of this. This
equipment is known as
anvil. Another equipment also used for this is swage block. Then we are changing the shape and we have to check it whether the roundness or the squareness or the rectangle shape has been got or not. Then we put that workpiece inside these holes. These shapes are there of different cross sections. This is a round one, this is also a round one of different diameters.
these are rectangles and
These are squares. This equipment is known as swage block. Tongs are of many types depending on their face. Open mouth, closed mouth, flat and round. Here we are having the chart over here, the blacksmith tongs. These are the tongs. V mouth, the mouth, the front edge in which we are holding the workpiece is known as mouth. Depending on the shape of mouth, these are known as open mouth or closed mouth. V shape, square shape, round shape. These are different types of tongs. We are using sledgehammer, flatter, anvil, swage block for changing the shape of workpiece from square to circular, round, or round to square. The furnaces are of different types: oil fired, cupola furnace, fuel fired, and different types of steel mills. We are using furnaces. This is a prototype of those steel mills. Here we are using oil fired furnace. That's
So this is our workpiece. It would be in a circular cross section area and cylindrical in shape. All we will have to do, we will be changing its cross section area to the square one with our blacksmithy processes. We will raise the temperature of our workpiece, and then with the help of external force we will change it. Now we are pouring the diesel into our furnace tank as a fuel, and here with the help of a funnel we are just pouring fuel into the fuel tank, and afterwards we will ignite it. So here the fuel has been filled. These are our tools placed over the anvil: the swage block, the beak iron, tongs and flatters, chisel and hammers, and the anvil again. You would have probably seen it in the Tom and Jerry show, maybe. So let us turn on the power connection, which is used to turn on the blower. Blower is used so that the oxygen content, the requirement of air to ignite the fuel, can be done easily. It fulfills the requirement of oxygen. So now here we are igniting the torch so that the torch may ignite the furnace. This is a normal torch in which cotton cloth is being used, and it is dipped in the diesel itself. And then what we will be doing, yeah, just adjusting the pressure knob of the fuel so that the concentration of fuel can be adjusted. Okay, I think the furnace has been ignited. Okay, you can see the flame, the size of the flame. With the help of air which is drawn from the blower, the fuel can easily be burnt. Without air, fuel cannot burn easily. With the use of excess air, the pressure of air, the fuel can be burned easily. So these are the workpieces. We are keeping it with the help of tongs. We will be just placing it like this. You can see. Afterwards, when the temperature will be raised, we will be using it. We will be processing it over the anvil. Some more bars. Temperature of furnace is very hot, so safety is the priority during the practical. This is the regular pressure knob, which is used to adjust the concentration of the fuel and the air. This is our furnace and the blower. This is the rotating rotating part of blower. Now once the temperature has been raised, so the concentration of the fuel can be minimized in order to get this temperature. Keeping in mind the safety, you must have worn all the gear safety precaution gears, and this is how, with the help of tongs, we will be holding our workpiece. It is nice red hot. We must flatter is kept over it. Tong is kept the workpiece, and this is the sledgehammer which will strike the flatter to make it flat. The workpiece is circular in cross section area. We are somehow flattening it with some force drawn from the sledgehammer, targeted by the flatter, placed over the anvil, held with tongue. This is the circular tongue. You can see how the workpiece is processed. The sledgehammer is of 15 kgs, so it must be very carefully handled. You can see the light of the workpiece is diminishing as the temperature is lowering. This is another workpiece. Again, the workpiece is drawn from the furnace. Nice, red hot. One by one, the workpiece will be drawn and then carried out in the workpiece in the furnace. Now, as you can see, as I told you that the weight of the hammer is 15 kg, so there is a specific technique. How can you strike with such a heavy tool? You can see, first of all, the head is kept held close with one hand, and then it is striked with both the hands from the farmost end. You can see the circular cross section area workpiece is changing its cross section up to a very close extent. Again, it is kept inside the furnace, and the other workpiece will be drawn out of it. Another workpiece will be carried out, and then work will be done one by one. You can see the hot flakes are coming out, so safety and precaution cannot be compromised anyhow. You can see now we are changing the side, so that it could be made proper straight shape. Flatter is in every blow. It must be kept a bit far away from the workpiece so that it could not be joined by it in the hot state. Now operators are changing their positions. Another workpiece is drawn alternatively. The leather gloves will be used in this. You can see the flakes, the hot flakes are coming outside. You can see how much safety is required during this operation. Although with the skulls and training, all the this work cannot be that tough, but safety is required from the very starting, very beginning point. Now the side will be turned and another side will be carried outwards. Again, new workpiece will be drawn out and the processing will be done again and again. Before industrial revolution, the nails were made by hand with the blacksmithy shop. Nails which are used in either construction of houses, in which the nails were required to join the wooden pieces, wooden locks. I must say. Yeah, it is very heavy workpiece. So a bit of cheerful movement while the work is done. Yeah, we must be positive during such a hard workpiece, and another hot workpiece is coming out of the furnace. Yeah, this time the flakes are very hot. These are the very hot, very powerful blows. Yeah, you can see the square cross section area is visible now. You can see in older times swords were made like this, weapons were made like this. You know, the wheels were also made by these, automobiles were made by this. So many processes were made in such a very uh, manner. These are all our workpiece kept inside the furnace. Very hot temperature. This is how The workpiece is has to be taken out of the furnace, and then further work is done in over the anvil. You can see the this workpiece is getting the shape of a chisel. Its head is becoming beveled a bit, and afterwards we can give it a finer shape. A sharp edge can also be given through it. Another workpiece of comparatively less length. Yeah. Every After every blow of hammer, flatter must be kept with some distance apart from the workpiece. With heat, metal can be joined together. That is why, like you can see in every blow, flatter must be kept a bit distant from the workpiece. Yes, this workpiece is been given the shape of a chisel. Its one side is being given this sharp edge. You can see the flakes which is came out of this workpiece. Very fine shape has been given. Yeah. If it is curved from some area, it can be corrected. Again, another workpiece. Its squareness will be improved. You can see now its shape is more like a square bar now. Hot flakes are coming very harshly. You can see all the blows very in a very near contact, but believe me, this is very tough job. With the precautions, it can be learnt easily. The aim of this practical is to understand the hardship of a worker or an operator, so that a student may know how much efforts are required in such tasks in manufacturing. In industries, such works are carried out every day. You can now see the edge of square bar can be seen very easily, and the square shape has been given very perfectly. This was a circular workpiece earlier, and now it is a square cross section area after the operation. You can see the other other side of this workpiece, which is still circular, but the majority of the portion is having square cross section area. This is another workpiece, which must be given this square shape. You can check, you can see the difference between both the workpieces. It is very interesting to see how the workpiece is being transformed in front of you. You can see there is a temperature difference which can be seen from the color itself. This is another hot workpiece. It will be given shape to this. This is the workpiece I was showing you. You can see the square cross section area very easily, but the surface must be finished afterwards. Yeah, over this beak iron, you can see the task of beak iron, why the beak iron is being used. The hook type shape is being given over here. This type of workpieces are also made with this. In earlier times, the chains used for tying up the cattles for the cattle farmers was made with this blacksmith shop itself, because before industrial revolution such chains cannot be made without any blacksmiths. The chains, the household items, support mechanisms, all these types of things were made by blacksmiths. I think Captain Hook would also require the help of a blacksmith for making his hook. Yeah, the chisel shape workpiece is also very good looking now, and it is in its final stage, I think. When the striking is done, the crystals come closer, and the strength of a workpiece becomes higher. Again, its temperature is raised in the furnace, and now it will be given the final shape. Its neck is formed. Now it is going to be flattened. Now, this process, if you would see, this process is known as quenching. Here, the rapid cooling has been done, and with this rapid cooling, the surface becomes hard, and inside the core becomes soft comparatively with the surface with the rapid cooling, which is known as quenching. This process is very useful so that the surface could become harder. Afterwards, the polishing or the finishing can be done after the blacksmithy operation, but here the blacksmithy operation has been done. So these are the workpieces of previous year students, how they transformed themselves, the workpieces into such finished workpieces. And these workpieces have been prepared in front of you in this video tutorial. Another workpiece is being processed. Yeah, the final workpiece of that hook shape. Its one end is must be tapered so that it could pierce any surface like ground, like wall, anything. It is used for piercing. After another couple of blows, it becomes in such a tapered shape. You can see another similar workpiece which is prepared just within this workpiece. These are very useful workpieces used in earlier days for constructing house. Very good example of blacksmithy. This is the square cross-section area of a smaller length workpiece. Its length is very smaller, but you can see how we can prepare it. Now the quenching will be done for this workpiece. Yes, the vapor can be seen. It's very hot, believe me. Still, it is also very hot, more than 100 degrees. But afterwards, it will be cooled. Now it can be held with hand. No, it is still hotter. The tongue is hotter right now. You can see the workpiece. This side, it's one end is circular cross section area. Enjoyed it. Thank you and have a nice day.